The government has certain rules it has to follow. That's the point of the charter, and then the point of all their statutes. It's rules the government has to follow, and agents of the government, so that they don't harm us. And they're very, very precise and explicit about that, because damaging us, they're liable for damages they cause us when we're over here. They have a whole bunch of rules in place, like don't speed because you might injure one of these guys, and then we're liable. So as long as you're doing under this speed limit, you're fine. All the other statutes they pass are all ever intended to be followed by agents of the government. Period. Now, I got the case law to support that. It's in no uncertain terms. I think it's 2.5 lines long. I could not explain it more precisely and clearly than one of the judges did. It's not even a point that's open for debate. I think everybody knows that. Government rules only apply to the government.
They're trying to give people like 4 times the sentences they should normally get just to try to say, hey, if you even come into my courtroom and try making these Freeman concept arguments, we're going to crush you far worse than we would have had you even dared bring that topic up. And these reasons for decisions, like we just saw in this Alberta court case here, that actually names parties that have nothing to do with this court case as being alleged gurus in Canada teaching this nonsense. And it actually does say that in there, teaching this nonsense and making money off selling DVDs and everything else. You can tell they're actually starting to get worried to the point now where they actually need to pay special attention to really, really like ramping up the personal attacks against people and really making people second guess going into the courts and wanting to bring these arguments up. So that there's a link to that on there, the albertacourts.ab.ca, and then the decision is there. I didn't even bother reading past about page 3 because of just what utter nonsense it is. For the people that are listening that's going to go through and actually read this case, I'd just like to point out also that people have to remember that these decisions that are being published by the courts, these reasons for decisions, these 180-page papers, and any decision you've ever received in court, they are not written by the judges that heard your case. They have teams of lawyers in the background, and this has been confirmed, that go through the case, listen to the transcripts, and then basically write the paper and write the decision that their paid frontman. And if people want to know what a judge is, all they have to do is look up the word supernumerary in Roman civil law and find out what a supernumerary is, and you'll find out he's a paid actor. He's just a paid actor who's wearing a black robe, so you can't see him in light. He doesn't really exist. I call them vampires, really. What are you trying to do? Pretend to be a vampire? What do you're wearing a cape with a friggin' a white piece of cloth around your neck. Give me a break. But these people are just paid actors who read scripts. They're given scripts to go in and read by all the lawyers that work in the background. So that's what these decisions are, and they're really, really trying to concentrate now on making people believe that these Freeman arguments are nonsense.
Yeah, I've noticed that anytime you try those arguments in any courts in Canada, they have case law they bring out that they call Meads versus Meads, which basically decided the argument in Canada that you are a person and all access statutes apply to you, period, blah, 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 barf, barf, puke, puke, and they don't listen to anything else. They just toss anything else that you're doing out of the courtroom whatsoever. They won't hear your arguments. So we've tried a lot of that stuff.